Back to the Seriously Serious Show. I'm Fop, and I'm here with Kinsey, Jay Pitty. Alex is running the camera today, and the Holy Spirit is present in the room. And that's why I can challenge you with this important challenge here today. Are you a joyful person? Are you? Because you know if you are or not. Because some people, and I'm not trying to throw any stones, but some people, they're not necessarily joyful, they've learned to kind of fake it. So, yeah, things are great. Seriously, all the time. But there's not a joy there. So I want to define what joy is. Because I used to think when I first became a Christian, oh, here we are. They're already logging in already. My goodness. Yeah. I have to call them back. This is OBB, the band. You can talk to them if you can. We can't hear them.
No, we can't hear them yet. So
sorry, you're gonna have to wait, OBB, if you're watching right now. Personally, I'm sorry. Joy, by definition, and this is my definition. This isn't an official definition, but it's my definition. Joy is when you choose to believe that God is bigger than your circumstance, no matter what. So joy is the confidence knowing that God is bigger than your circumstance, no matter what. It's not an emotion. It's not a feeling, although I think we say that in society and we believe that maybe by dictionary definition. But from a biblical perspective, it says we should have joy even in the midst of suffering. And I think that's kind of weird that we would be like, hey, great, I'm suffering, I've got cancer. No, that doesn't make no sense. God isn't going to say that. He's going to say instead, even though you've got cancer, even though you've got a struggle, even though you've got difficulty, I still want you to have joy. And so by definition, I believe that joy is saying, you know what, God, you're in control. And I'm content in that. I don't necessarily really like it because it scares me, but I'm going to give you what it is that you deserve, which is leadership of my life. So I'm going to have joy. Now, to contrast that, people that don't have any kind of joy, people that are kind of they're negative and they're focused more on control and they live in fear and they sometimes think of only their own problems and not anybody else's, and they're constantly trying to get attention. Well, that's a different contrast. That's someone who's not God focused, that's self-focused. And I've been there a lot in my life. And so I was looking at Proverbs and the dose of the day today, and in Proverbs chapter 17 verse 22 says, if you are cheerful, you feel good. If you are sad, you hurt all over. Now again, I said joy and cheerful, they're not the exact same thing, but I like the way that this proverb comes out, because when you choose to believe the best about the moment, that God's in control, that gives you power, that gives you strength. But when you choose to be focused on a difficulty and you're just afraid and you're fearful and, oh shucks, God can't do this one, then it causes you pain all over. And so that's my dose of the day. You might say, well, what's the challenge? Well, the challenge is to seek God amidst all the good, all the bad, all of it, and ask Him for strength and say, God, I want to have joy in this, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you what it is that I'm dealing with, and I'm going to believe that you are enough for this as well. So that's the dose of the day. That's all I've got to say. I'm going to be heading out of here. Jay Pitty's moving in the chair. OBB has been calling us up, and so we're going to talk to them a little bit. Exciting afternoon. Don't go anywhere.